what is fair in men doesn't last. Old age creeps up on you. Nothing's more fleeting than the years of a man's life. But there is time enough for those who know how to use it. What's the point of passing from the earth unnoticed? Man who doesn't become famous is no more than wood smoke on the wind or foam upon the sea. But I intend to leave a memory of myself in the minds of others. Leonardo da Vinci, disciple of experience. Educated men will look at what I do and say that it is useless work. But the words they breathe from their mouths are as wise as the wind they fart from their asses. Fools. My earliest memory, I am lying in my cradle when a bird of prey flies down and opens my mouth with its tail and pushes its feathers between my lips. I think it's my destiny to study great birds. Do you see how the eye embraces the beauty of the whole world? The eye is the window to the soul. Knowledge begins with sensation, with experience. It does not begin with the study of Latin. I, who have no Latin, say that knowledge begins with love. Nature must be our guide. If you look anywhere but in nature, believe me, you're wasting your time. Nature begins with a cause and ends with an experience. So begin with the experience and investigate the cause. Take water. What is water? Describe the motion of water. Water surges, it plunges, it bubbles, it gushes, it spurts, it streams, it drips, it murmurs and gurgles, crashes and bangs. The motion of water is like hair. It seems to have two kinds of movement. One responding to the weight of the strand of hair, and the other to the direction of its curls. Water is a continuous quantity. It flows from the sea to the rivers, and from the rivers to the sea. And always, the water strives to maintain its course. If it finds an obstacle in its way, it gets past it with a circular, twisting movement. It turns around and around, making whirling eddies that eat away at whatever stands in their path. They'll excavate great chasms in the earth. They'll make havoc of the river's course, and in the end, they'll change it. And all these rivers made of melting snow and rain and hail and ice merge and turn into larger rivers, getting bigger and stronger as they flow on, cutting away at one bank and building up the other until they form valleys and ravines and mountains. Water is a continuous quantity. Motion is the cause of all life. Nothing is superfluous in nature, and nothing is lacking in nature. Nature is perfect, and it will always give you something to imitate. But there's a problem. The problem is the Bible. Water is a continuous quantity, but the Bible says, does it not, that there were 40 days and 40 nights of incessant rain. And the rain was universal. So at the time of Noah, there was a great flood, and the waters rose above the highest mountains. And when it says it was universal, it means that it covered the globe. And then the Bible says that after 150 days, the waters started to recede. Well, that's impossible. Because water cannot move unless it falls. The flood covered the globe. It had nowhere to go. So how did the water depart? Was it a miracle? Oh, and you know when you stand in deep water and you extend your arms, you know how if you let them fall naturally, they slip slowly down to your side and you remain where you are? Well, what if you pump them up and down? You will move upwards. You'll be flying through the water. And a bird, beating its wings against the air, makes its body move in exactly the same way. So if a man had large enough wings, and they were properly attached, perhaps a man could overcome the resistance of the air, push himself up off the ground, and fly. The man who designed this would be famous far and wide. I shall continue. Here's a story. Once upon a time, there was a stone, a large stone, washed clean and smooth. It lay high up at the edge of a delightful grove above a rocky road, and here it lived among brilliantly colored flowers. The stone looked down on all the other stones that lay on the rocky road. More and more it wanted to roll down the slope and be with them. What am I doing here with all these plants? I'm a stone. I ought to live with other stones. So one day, the stone rolled down the hill, and it nestled up amongst the other stones. When my destiny is to be happy, I will go around smiling. The rule of perspective must be that objects get smaller in size the farther away they are. Otherwise, Master Painter, you produce effects which are the opposite of nature, like you, Signor Botticelli. Many people would love to learn how to draw. Many people enjoy drawing. Many even have an aptitude for it, but they don't persevere. They draw everything in a hurry, like little boys, with no shading, no finishing. A good artist must show two things: man himself and the inside of man's mind. The first is easily done, but the second, you can only begin to get at the second through the use of gesture, through the movement of the limbs.
It is essential to become totally familiar with all the actions of which the human body is capable and the precise positions of the limbs. You must know which muscle is responsible for every movement, and only these do you show as prominent.
Otherwise, your drawing of the nude form will look like a block of wood, lacking in grace, lacking in motion. You'll turn the human form into a sack of walnuts, muscle and fiber into a bunch of stringy radishes.
Painting is the child of nature and directly related to God. You must not put anything into your work that is not in harmony with your reason and with the observed effects of nature.
As an artist, you must stand back and judge what you've done. And when a work stands equal to your judgment, that's bad. When it surpasses your judgment, that's even worse. It's only when your judgment damns the work you have done that it's likely to be any good. It would be a poor disciple who didn't try to outdo his master.
God smiles on virtuous things, and fame will carry us up to heaven. I will leave a memory of myself in the minds of others. Every moment must count. What is there we cannot achieve? If a man is to fly, if a man is to fly, what's a bird? What is it? Well, it's an instrument, isn't it?